Hello, my doves. Please excuse the rather wacky angle, but my setup's kind of weird. So, I bought this kit off of Amazon for making entryway hangers to bless the space, like protection charms, basically. So we're gonna take a look because I don't remember what was in it. See what we got and try to make something out of this. So immediately I see some beads, plenty of bells, which you definitely want by your front and back door to ward things away. Lots of those. And they're so cute, they're brass. Very pretty. There's, I think, almost a dozen of them. There's also some tiny corked jars for adding in your own protection ingredients, like salt or whatever else you may want to use. 3 different kinds of cords. I really like this one with the leaves, but there's also the black one and the tan. Very cute. I do have my scissors ready to go, as well as my hot glue gun, just in case we need to do anything with that. Because we all know I am clumsy as heck. If I use the hot glue gun, there will probably be burns involved. The actual wreaths themselves, there are 4. Wow. So you've got enough to do multiple doors if you have multiple entryways. My apartment just has 2, a front and a back door, so I'll only do 2, but there's enough equipment in here to do 4 easily. And apologies if I have to cut this short at any point or stop and come back, because I am on my lunch break right now. And also, if you hear something going off in the background, it's my work computer. I forgot to silence it before starting the video. So, my apologies. I am bad at life. We already knew that. But hey, if you didn't know that and you're new here, now you know. And welcome to the show. Oh, there's some lovely quartz that's already wire wrapped here. I think I'll use one on each, the front and the back door one. And then an assortment of charms, keys, pentagram, moon, tree of life, sun. Oh, there's a triquetra. There's, I think, 2 pentagrams and is that a Star of David at the bottom there? We'll have to take a look. So I'm just gonna shimmy this box out of the way for now. Might come back to that later, honestly, if I have to put some of this away. First things first, which ones do I want to use? I think I like these 2, the thicker ones, the best right now. So we'll try doing these 2. And I'm going to be honest, I don't even remember what they looked like on Amazon, because when I bought the kit, it was just before I moved in here, so it's been about 2 months since I purchased this. And as I've probably mentioned before, I'm fairly certain I have ADHD. It's undiagnosed. I was never privileged enough to talk to the doctor about mental health things when I was younger. And now that I'm older, you know what they say, if you have the time, you don't have the money. If you have the money, you don't have the time. But that's neither here nor there. I'm super forgetful because I do also have really bad anemia, and that is diagnosed. And one of the things that comes with that is memory problems, because you just have like constant brain fog going on, which sucks. I think I want to wrap this with this to kind of give it a leafy appearance. I like that. Probably start it up here where the knot's a little thicker, and I have somewhere to kind of blend it in. And we'll try hot gluing it first and see if that works at all. I will attempt to keep all cursing to a minimum, but I'm an old lady. When I burn myself, I tend to yell. I'm not that old, I'm only 30. Almost 31. I say only 30, like it doesn't bother me every other day of my life that I'm not in my 20s anymore. Because I feel like I got robbed of the last few good years of my 20s by the disease that will not be named. I don't know if anyone else feels that way. Like the last couple of years have just been crazy bad. And they kind of lost their youth to it. I mean, I know I can't really complain because there's kids that couldn't even attend like high school graduation and all this other stuff because of it, which would really suck. But at the same time, like your late 20s are when you're actually figuring stuff out. Your early 20s are just kind of a mess. Your mid 20s are picking up the pieces and trying to put your reputation back together. And then your late 20s are where you're really supposed to figure it all out. And whoops, that didn't happen. Oh well. We each had our own challenges coming and going from there. Now the only problem is how much of this do I need to wrap around? I don't want to cut too little. Can I even cut this with these scissors? There we go. Cut off a couple feet worth there, I would say. Probably too much, but oh well. Rather have too much than too little. Because when you're doing a tight coil around something like this, it's going to use quite a bit more than you would think it would. I am so sorry. I may scrap this entire first video just because that dinging is going to get really annoying. And that is 100% my fault. And no, my apartment is not a studio. I do in fact have a separate bedroom, but it is just large enough for my bed and a small bookcase that also keeps my tiny TV on it. So my altar slash crafting station slash workstation here is about 3 feet away from my work computer, which is still better than how my setup was in my last apartment where everything was literally 3 feet away from my bed. At least this time my bed is in a separate room, so I have to get up and move around the apartment to go to work. So I get a little bit of a better way to start my day. You know what? I'm just going to keep going. There's plenty left over, but I'm just going to keep wrapping. Nothing wrong with doing a double layer, especially when it's so pretty like this. But I think the extra movement in the morning kind of helps. Sorry, I don't know what it is, but when I do stuff like this, I just yammer on. And I'm sorry if that annoys any of you that like quieter videos. But I am a bit of a talker until I run out of things to say. There, I rather like how that turned out with the double wrap around. I'm just going to move this sleeve out of the way a little bit if I can. And try to glue the end into the middle there. And I just globbed all over. Oh well. This is what happens when you buy a $4 glue gun for from the craft store. It falls over constantly. Ouch, 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 ouch. And I was right, I stuck my finger straight in the glue. That's going to leave a blister. But I think she's rather cute, don't you? I'm gonna pause for just a second. And I've still got a little bit of time. Okay, pause over. So we've got one. I think I'm only gonna get one wreath done at this point though. Whoopsie. So next, let's see, I've got a lot of bells. I think 3 bells would be the way to go. We do like things in 3s. I think that might be a bit long, but I want different lengths for each one. Ooh, it'd be super cute if I knotted 1 or 2 of these charms in the cord with the bells. I think that could be adorable. Of cord, not exactly the same length because we want a little variety there. And take a look at our options here. So these keys are huge, but I definitely want to use at least one. I think probably this one. And then also maybe this pentagram. Now keys are great for protection magic around guarding your home because they literally symbolize unlocking your doorways or unlocking pathways. So you want to use those. And one of the quartz points, quartz again, perfect for something like this. So what I want to try is kind of shimmying this down onto the cord. Like a decent amount down. And then how do you do a slip knot? Do you just kind of... I'm like half blind. I keep pulling this stuff toward me so I can see it. That's not really helpful at all for you guys, is it? So I think you just kind of put it through the cord and do this. And then pull it back through the hole. And then if I give it a tug, oh yeah, that'll dangle nicely off the cord there. Gives it a little bit of room where it can still move. And then we'll just put the other end through the bell. I'm going to double knot that into place because I don't trust that wee little Gwenny bug is not going to attack these at some point. She is a bit of a gremlin most of the time. There, see? And then the quartz is hanging just above where the bell is hanging. I think that looks nice. And then we'll just tie this into place. It doesn't have to be the cutest knot in the world, it just has to hold it in place. I'm going to gonna double knot this as well, just for security. Oh, did you get your toy, baby girl? You get your little birdie with the bell on it. She really likes bell noises because one of her favorite toys also has a bell and it rings when she drags it around. It's so cute. Okay, so step 1. Here we are. Unfortunately, I do have to head back, so I will be back with you guys in a little bit. Stay tuned. Okay, so as you probably cannot tell from the lighting or anything else in here, I did not make it back last night to keep working on these. I had to go to my grandparents' house for dinner and to do some laundry and all that because I like doing it over there instead of here. It's cheaper that way. But this is where we left off. Let's keep going. I had a thought because it does come with these little jars right here. I think I'm going to cut a separate piece of cord and hang it just right here. Once I decide what I'm going to put into it, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. The hot glue gun is still heating up. It's not quite finished yet, so let's keep going with the bells and the charms. So this key, it's pretty darn large. I think I just want to do another slip through knot like that. The cable might barely be long enough to put the bell on, but it'll work, I think. Pull it tight. Take the bell. Knot it nice and tight at the bottom there. Make sure it's got just enough room to play off there. And then since the key is so large, I basically want it right in the middle, hanging down a bit longer. So I want to be sure to tie it this way. Maybe scoot it over just a smidge further. And I think, being a smarty pants that I am, I'm going to just tie this once. If I can even get it around once. My goodness, you ever have days where your fingers just don't want to do what you're trying to tell them to do? That sounds kind of wrong. My apologies. Oh my gosh, I can't. Come on. Ah, yes, the fine point where witchcraft and ASMR collide, where you can watch someone struggle with tying a freaking knot for 5 minutes. Oh my goodness. I had no trouble with this yesterday. Can I just point that out? Why am I struggling? There we go. That was ridiculous. That is almost certainly backward from the way I wanted it to go. Oh well. I am going to hot glue the end down rather than trying to double knot it because I want that cord to be a bit longer. Oh, that is much more glue than I needed. Ouch, 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 it's hot. Okay, there we go. Oh, shoot. Okay. There we go. So from the front to attached. Adorable. Love it. My fingers, on the other hand, not so cute. Peel that off. I swear, between this and the wedding decorating, the past couple weeks have not been very kind to my fingers when it comes to hot glue. My friend's wedding went very well. Lovely ceremony. They complimented me quite a bit on the decor. So, yay me. I'm fancy. I'm super happy for them. They are probably the most solid couple I know. Because they actually get each other, and it took them years to reach this point. And they are very good at respecting each other as individuals and compromising based on who the other person is. And I think that's really admirable, and that's something the couples I know are not always the best at, is just respecting who the other person is and letting them live their life. And, just being supportive of that. Because in a couple, you're not trying to change the person, you just are loving the person for who they are. And if that ever changes to where you can't love or support who they are, you should let them know. Because I feel like that greatly changes how you interact with them. And they're just authentically good for each other, and they're so cute together. See, I double knotted that just fine. I got that on there just fine. What were my hands doing a minute ago? And it's Friday the 13th, who knows? Which I do not consider to be unlucky in the slightest. Originally, Friday the 13th was a holy day for Freya in Norse mythology. And it usually had pretty positive implications in other cultures. It's only in these modern cultures and religions that we see that the number 13 is a negative association. Because usually here, like we work with threes a lot. The maiden, mother, crone, the 3 phases of the moon. We see a lot of odd numbers and things like that. So there's no reason for us to be concerned about Friday the 13th being negative or demonic in any way. Unless you're a camp counselor who was really bad at their job at one point in the 80s, then you should be afraid. Ow, 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 ow. I didn't even need to glue that one down, but I did, and I hurt myself. Okay, there we go. So I've got all 3 of the bells with charms attached. That one keeps wanting to rotate, but that's okay. So that is super cute. Back to peeling glue off my fingertips. Ow, that one's gonna leave a blue. pulling stuff off your fingers was always so much more fun when it was like a rubber cement that we would use to mount photos in art class and stuff like that. That stuff was way more fun than this. This hurts. Oops, I also have these beads I came with them that I have not been using. Just kind of simple black beads. Nothing wrong with them. Perfectly cute. I just don't really know where I'd put them in the grand scheme of things. Maybe I can use them on a different wreath. But for now, I'm just going to put them to the side over here. Okay, tiny jar time. Tiny jar. What do I have that's good for protection that I could put in the tiny jar? I don't think any of the clear quartz I have left is going to fit into something that narrow. Nope, those are all way too big. That's okay. Because that is a very, very tiny jar. Let's see, what do I have? Blue sage and Irish moss. The Irish moss I got for my abundance spell that I'm going to be doing here soon. Blue sage would be a good choice. Purifying, cleansing, healing, abundance, clearing negative energy, spiritual growth, strength, protection. Good for basically everything. So I think we can use a little bit of this in the tiny jar for sure. Do I want to start with this or do I want to start with my salt? Probably start with salt. Dead sea salt. Purification and protection. Not the rose hips, that's from my love spells. So let's do a little bit of the dead sea salt. We'll see if I can keep this clean. Dagnabbit, nope. Shoot, okay, round two. Do it over the mouth of the larger jar in case I spill, because I'm definitely going to spill. We'll just get as much in here as we can. That's a good little amount. Maybe try for a pinch more. Just a pinch there. Dead sea salt. Blue sage. I do have some new jars. I do have more of these. As you can see, I did finally jar up the jasmine flowers, the rose hips, the stuff that I was using for the love spells a few weeks ago, and the elderberry, that kind of stuff. Those are finally jarred. And I have more jars. I just got busy and couldn't finish jarring this up. But let's put that down. Oh, this is a resealable baggie. Perfect. Just gonna rip that off. I always save the little info cards, especially for ones like that have like 100 properties, just in case I can use them to reference later on. And then I'm gonna put an empty jar under my hand here, since I'm probably definitely gonna spill some of this, because this is much larger than salt. And then this will be my blue sage jar when I'm done. Just gonna kind of scoop it in off the spoon. Is that easier at all? I'm getting a little bit in there. Yeah, we're getting some. So because the mouth of this jar is so tiny, scooping it off the spoon is actually working pretty decently. I'd say we've got almost equal parts in there now. Put that to the side for cleanup later. And last thing for my jar, I do have tons of lavender left over from wedding prep. Whole dried lavender. I used bunches of it to do up some of the candles. Really lovely. So we'll just take some of the flower buds off of here and drop them in the jar to complete our little happy home protection spell here. So that's a real easy one. Salt, sage, and lavender. Pretty basic protection ingredients for anyone. Not super basic. Lavender isn't exactly like easy to get hold of for everybody, but there's plenty of substitutes you can use for these ingredients too. Yes, I'm using the stalk to push the buds further down into the glass. And dried lavender does come off the stem very easily, so it makes this process go pretty fast. The bigger problem is storing whole dried lavender on the stem like this and not having it go all over the place. Couple more flowers. 1, 2. There we go. That jar is nice and full up. Just tap it a little bit so the cork has room to settle in. And I don't have a candle going for once. That's weird. So I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue on the cork. Here's hoping I don't burn myself in the process to seal this nice and tight. Just don't drop it, just don't drop it, just don't drop it. Hey, what do you know? We got it in there pretty good. You can see a little bit of the hot glue poking up around the side, which is really fine because I want a tight seal on this. Make sure no moisture gets in here to the salt. I might even just do the tiniest bit of glue I can. Not that there's ever really much control when you're using a glue gun. Yeah, no control whatsoever. But just kind of drag that around the lip here to seal that up a little better. There we go. Perfection. Adorable. Love it. And actually, you know, if I wanted to be really, really extra, I could glue an amethyst to the lid because I have plenty of those. Do I want to? I already have the plain quartz crystal hanging off right here. But I mean, I've got multiple jars of these. And they're just so pretty, and I love purple. So I'm gonna be a little bougie and glue this to it too. Did not come with the kit. Sorry. And I'm just breaking all the rules. Did I start out with any rules? I think this is probably too big to go on the lid though, so we just might glue it to like the front. Or glue it to part of it and call it the front. I don't know. We're winging it. which is not different than any other day of the week. That actually looks kind of pretty. And I got it on there without burning myself. Hey! So there's that. Now I just have to... Why did I think it would stand up? Now I just have to attach it to the top of this so it hangs right here in the middle. Okay. And this cord also came with it. But honestly, I already have the exact same thing that came with my jars and label sets. That's already open and I've been using. So I'm just going to put this off to the side because I don't have multiple things of string just open and willy-nilly about here. If that makes sense. It makes more sense if you know my cat. Because she likes cords, she likes, well, basically she likes everything. Okay, so I'm gonna try to tie this on. Really carefully. Oh, she knew I was talking about her. Or she wants dinner, one of the two. Okay, so we're going to tie that on. And again, I'm going to hit the knot with the hot glue gun. Yes, baby, hold on. You're a good girl. Sorry. That is not very ASMR of me. But if I don't acknowledge her, she will keep crying. And I don't know if y'all have noticed. Ouch. But I tend to do very little actual sound editing when it comes to her being present in my videos. Unless she, of course, like, goes whole hog and starts knocking stuff down. And then I will edit out the actual crashing and the loud noises and the craziness that happens. But if she's gonna cry, I just kind of let her. Because this is, you know, it's a witchcraft channel. She's my baby. And sometimes her meows are adorable. So I just let it happen. Okay, so I want this to hang right about there. I'm going to tie it once. Pull it to the back. Tie it twice. And there we are. I think it's going to keep spinning around on me probably because of the way it's on here, but that's okay. But that is the finished project for door number 1. I wonder if there's any way I can get that to stop spinning. Like if I push this further back, would it? Probably not, but we'll see. Yes, my solution for everything right now is more hot glue. Because I'm not clumsy enough. I need more blisters. Give that a moment to set. Oh shoot, I didn't put the thing in above the door to actually hang this on. Oh gosh. My family's always said I would lose my head if it wasn't attached, and they're probably correct. Well, that didn't help much with the rotating, but it helped a little bit. They're all rotating at this point though, so it's okay. But let me get my door situated so I can actually hang this. Half a tick, I'll be right back and we'll see what it looks like hung up. Alright, there we have it. I think it's super cute. As you saw before, I still have enough materials left to make 3 more of these. So, if I keep working on them later tonight, or sometime this weekend, because it's finally the weekend, I will definitely let you guys know. But I have another project I'm working on, and I thought might also be fun to take a look at. It involves quite a lot more hot glue, which is always delightful to watch me play with, but it's something that I think you all might enjoy. I am making a new, larger hobbit door for one of my friends to take home and hang up in their room. So I've got the paint job done, I've got the door handle on, I just need to attach the flowers. But I figured we could hang out and talk a little about Lord of the Rings and why I think it's one of the best movie series ever made, not to mention the books, and we'll have a good time. But until then, I hope you have a wonderful evening and a wonderful weekend, and I love you all very much.